Hello, and welcome to the ENG YNPL review show, where today we will be who's more impressive in the under-13s, North, Oldham, Kingsway, Power or Leeds? Can Leeds under-12s win the league? What teams will be the top four in the under-12s North? And are defenders treated unfairly by umpires? And we have an army of special guests from the Leeds players and also loads of other stuff going on that Rich is going to tell us about. Hey, Rich.
Yes, I was just I was accidentally looking at the YouTube one because I have that running alongside it.
Right.
And I was wondering why I was blinking and I wasn't blinking. I was getting a bit worried. I was stuck in the matrix, like a glitch.
Always a glitch, mate. Especially this week. Well, last weekend. Crazy enough. Crazy. Mate, a bit of an action-packed weekend, really, wasn't it? To be fair.
Yeah, we had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Really good weekend. Competitive netball Saturday and Sunday. We had the under 12s on Saturday, and on Sunday we had our fastball competition, which is the old 10-minute games, which is my favorite. I love it.
It is fast, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's full on. Every game is full on, and you feel like it's a Turnford pool game every game because it's that intense because you've only got 10 minutes to win the game. But that was good fun.
You should try moving a camera. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, they're throwing the ball there, back, forward, up. And it's just massive, just the under 16s.
But yeah, good weekend. Really enjoyable. We've been going to the north now, I think 3 weeks on the bounce. And that's been I think 4 weeks on the bounce, and it's been really good fun, well supported, very enthusiastic audience. Players are very enthusiastic, and hopefully that's repeated when we do a few weeks now at the south. But before we start the review show, I'm going to give away a prize because we ran a Halloween competition. Not many people entered, and people were saying to me, I didn't know it was on, so maybe I've got to do better marketing next time.
Yeah, maybe.
But basically, I went to Cadbury's World.
Oh, Cadbury's World. Don't forget, comment, people. Don't forget, we'd like to see your comments, bring them up on the screen.
I went to Cadbury's World.
Oh, mate. I'm taking myself off. You can let's have big.
What is to go? There you go. I went to Cadbury's World and basically bought this and thought, what netballer will basically want to win this by dressing up as a scary netballer?
Right, hang on. Girls, does that look nice to you?
Yeah.
Did you know about this competition, or are you too old to dress up for Halloween?
I didn't know about it.
Maddie, I didn't know about it. If I knew about it, I'd have dressed up for Halloween just to get that egg. Hang on.
So, girls, if you'd have known about this, would you have dressed up as a scary netballer to win it?
Probably. Maybe.
It's impressive, isn't it, Martin?
Mate, I'm looking at that going, I feel like Scooby-Doo. No chocolate.
Hey, that's your dinner for the week, Martin.
Mate, I've just spent the last 2 days coding, and I can tell you that would not even lasted hardly any time. I'd have been like just.
Well, so basically, we had 3 entries. That's how popular I am. Or maybe
only 3 entries.
Well, at least I got 3. But look, 3's. I feel so popular; it's unbelievable. But
they're trying not to laugh. Look,
let's give out the results.
All right, go on. I'll bring it on.
I'm sorry if I don't know names and stuff, but it's really hard. Yeah. So in 3rd place with 8 votes, we had a young lady from Kingsway Power. I think she's 8 years old. Obviously, I'm the name terrorist. I can't do names. But this young lady, she dressed up as a netballer, looked super scary. To be honest, because she was quite young, I thought she would get the most votes, but she didn't. And she come 3rd with 8 votes. Martin, there you go. There you go. But then in 2nd place, this is how it. This is a big thing. This is.
Tell me if you agree with his result, by the way, girls, as well. There we go.
Yeah, so this was third place. In second place, it was a group of netballers, and I think it was the Kingsway Power under 11. See, Kingsway Power want to win everything, even chocolate eggs. Do you know what I mean?
Of course they do. It's the Empire.
It's the Empire, like, and here we go. And to be honest, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 of them, I thought easy, they're going to win that easy, but they didn't. They had 25 votes. So that young girl had 8. The Kingsway Power under 11s had 25, and our winner though, with 61 votes. There was a lot more on Instagram story post, but I forgot to look at the scores before it went off. But this young lady who won, she had won it by a canter anyway. I think she had 140 odd votes the last time I looked.
Wow.
But with 61 votes, it was Arabella from Northwich Sapphires. There you go. She's the champion. Girls,
Mate, she didn't get dressed up. That was just after a normal game of netball. What are you talking about?
They're not even clapping her. They're not even clapping. Are you jealous, girls? I think they're jealous, Martin. Arabella, that's coming to you.
Wow, look at that. Lovely big egg.
Go. I won't send it by post because it probably won't turn up.
Mate, I can deliver it if you want.
Oh yeah, we're in Manchester at the end of the week. So there you go. There is Arabella, the champion of the ENG Halloween Dress Up Challenge.
Still reckon she just come off the game, mate. The court.
Right, Martin, we're going to do the scores from Saturday first. So let's boot the young ladies out and we'll bring them in once we do the scores.
All right, see you in a minute, girls. There we go, mate. Right, let's do this.
And girls, if you're continuing to watch, make sure you have a look at what we're doing here, because when you do a quiz,
yes, when you do the quiz,
questions will be in the information we're about to show now.
The answers will be here. Don't forget, let's have your comments, people.
So this weekend we had the second round of the Under 12s Youth Netball Premier League Northern Conference. The opening game we thought would be a lot more competitive. Ellesmere Port beat Oldham in the first round. Big shock victory there. So we expected them to come with the same type of energy, enthusiasm, competitive nature. Unfortunately, though, they didn't for the first couple of quarters, which was a big shame. You don't give Kingsway Power an opportunity to go a few goals up, because they will,
don't do you, mate.
They would do their best to go 100 up if they can. So Kingsway Power took control of the game very early doors, and Ellesmere Port gave themselves way too much to do, and they lost 30-17. There was some great shooting though from I'm going to say Lexi. I think it's definitely Lexi from Ellesmere Port, the standout player for their team. Great shooting from her, long range shots, joy to watch. And I don't know if you can get that video up if you can or not, but we did a little video and put a little highlight reel of some of the crazy shots we had this weekend, and she was one of them. Next up, Bury against Chester. Now, I'm not going to lie, I thought Chester would win this game based on the first round's performance, but Bury, they've been training. It looks like they've been training very hard. They looked a lot better than they did the first round because they lost their first 2 games, and they won with ease in that one. So it's a big surprise to me. I did believe Chester would win that one, but Bury, well done. I love being proven wrong. Next up, then Wire against Kingsway Power. This Wire team is quite a young team, to be fair, but they're in it. We got to judge them just like everyone else is in this league. Kingsway Power, they did start well, Wire. A lot better than most teams do.
It did, yeah.
But they
just
just
kind of draw neck and neck, wasn't it? It was 1-1.
Yeah. It was the first 5-6 minutes. They did a good job, but sustaining that is a difficult thing. So in the end, 56-10 to Kingsway Power. Next up, we had a local rivalry between Ellesmere Port and Chester. Ellesmere Port won this one very, very comfortably to get their second win of the season. And the final game of the first section of games, Bury, they went and won against Bayer. Bayer? Who the hell is Bayer? Is that a new team in the league?
Making up words
Bury
now.
against Wire, 29-8. So Bury got 2 out of 2 that round, and they went from second from bottom all the way up to 6, but we'll look at the table in a minute. Then Grangetown against Northwich Sapphires, one of the standout games of the day. Grangetown, and it was a draw up until half-time. Going into the final quarter, Grangetown were up 14-11. Northwich Sapphires, though, come out in the fourth quarter, and thanks to their amazing shooter, Arabella, who actually won this egg just a minute ago, I don't know if you saw some of those shots, Martin, but
mate, I put out on Instagram, one of the reels and stories, blah blah blah, straight after that game, put in, this is the game to watch. This has everything. It was lit. I didn't even put any music. There was no need to put music with it. It was just fast pace. It was action all the way. It was no under 12s, not being funny, but not as fast as the under 16. It was at that pace. I thought I was just trying to keep up with everything. It was
just the shot selections. Like normally in those type of games, like players will be looking to shoot as near to the post as possible. But again, if anyone watched that little highlight reel I put up of all those long bombs, as they call it in netball, Arabella, she scored 3 amazing shots from far away, and it took a lot of bottle basically for her to do that. So well done, and they got the win. But Grangetown would be very disappointed. They didn't win that game. Just couldn't get going in the fourth quarter for some reason. I don't know why. Next game, Oldham versus Kingsway Power under 11s, 29-10 to Oldham, but Kingsway Power did play very well for an under 11s team. Leeds then took on Northwich. I expected a little bit more from Northwich because up until this point, they had won their first 3 games. But Leeds showed their quality, especially in defence, and they won 25-7. Then Grangetown took on Kingsway Power under 11s, probably, and another game I thought Grangetown would win this, but maybe just didn't, the life had been
did it for them.
Well, maybe the life had been sucked out of her, mentally drained from the first game.
Maybe.
And again, Kingsway Power took full advantage, and they were my team of the day because that was one hell of a performance. Even though we had a few good performances for an under 11s team to beat Grangetown 31-8, a team who had just been beaten by Northwich when Northwich beat Kingsway Power under 11s, showed how amazing that performance was. So well done there to Kingsway Power under 11s.
I chatted to him after that game, because they'd been around the bit where I was, obviously, and I was just chatting to him, just saying, how do you felt about them? I mean, they were ecstatic, obviously. They were just, and I was like, that's testament to them, how hard they worked, how they played, and what they did, and you can see they were beaming. So it was good to see.
They did really well. Really, really good performance. And that's what we're here for, to highlight the sort of stuff.
They did say to me, Lauren was saying about, do they want to go into the league? And they were like, yeah, we'll give it a go. I mean, it's like, yeah, we'll do it, even though we're a year younger. And that just proved to them that they have the ability. And
100%.
And that's what they were saying. They were like, oh, Lauren said we could do it, and we can do it. It was like, cool. It was good to see. Never underestimate your opponent, I would say. That's the Grangetown, to any team playing against the under 11s. And also, even if you're young and people are older than you, doesn't mean that they're going to beat you. So never underestimate your own capabilities, and never underestimate somebody else's capabilities. There we go.
Well done, Martin. That's powerful, mate. That was powerful. Final game of the day was it was our game of the day, basically. Oldham versus Leeds. Leeds were unbeaten going into this game. Oldham were looking to kind of win to get level on points with Leeds and to kind of get a bit of space between them and the teams in 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. But Leeds showed a tremendous improvement in their performance from the last. Well, round 1 they played well, but this was an even better performance. And especially from last year when they did the under 11s Netball Cup, they're unrecognizable from that competition. So even though they come second overall in the country, for me, they're unrecognisable. They've improved massively, and defensively they've improved massively. So that was a great win. And if we look at the table, what that means is I think we have a 2-horse race for the title this season. I expected the Oldham Kingsway Power narrative, but instead we have Leeds and Kingsway Power showing the way. We've both got 8 points. Look at Kingsway Power's goal difference, so it's absolutely incredible.
I didn't see that until you just pointed it out.
182. It's just unreal. But surprisingly, Leeds have a better defensive record. Leeds have conceded 41, Kingsway Power 42. So defensively, Leeds are doing better. So again, great matchup when they play each other. Northwich, they lost their first game of the season, but they stay in third. They were fourth, then they're in third, so they've gone up one place. Oldham hang on to the last grand finals position with 4 points. Ellesmere Port 4 points, Bury 4 points. So those two teams, Ellesmere Port and Bury, will be hoping to push Oldham and Northwich. I don't think Leeds and Kingsway Power will come out of the top 4, but it's all up for grabs from third place down. So Ellesmere Port and Bury will be hoping to squeeze into the top 4. Kingsway Power and 11s, I did an interview and they are very confident they can get into the top 4. So interesting. Grangetown, they need to make sure that they capitalise on being in the lead. Then that second performance in particular against Kingsway Power and 11s was not them. I don't know. Again, I think there was a sleep at the wheel, that one. But another team who have the opportunity or the potential to push. But don't forget, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th go to our championship finals. And the bottom two, Chester and Wyre. Chester tumbled down the table after 2 heavy defeats. And Wyre, 2 heavy defeats for them. And they stay bottom of the table. But they, again, remember, top 2 will fall out of this league next season. So it's important that these teams try and get out of that situation. Otherwise, we won't see them next season.
Exactly.
So that's how it goes. But let's bring into the room some special guests, players from Leeds Athletic under-12s who were absolutely amazing on Saturday and who believe they have what it takes to potentially win this league. So hello, Maddie, Harriet and Willow. How are you feeling after the weekend?
Good, yeah.
Good. Harriet, confident? Is Harriet there?
She's there.
Harriet, you there?
Yeah.
Cool. So you beat Northwich quite convincingly. How confident were you that you could win that game against Oldham? And let's start with you, Maddie.
I think going into that game, all of us were quite confident because the weekend before we had played them in Bury and we had defeated them then as well. So
what was the score that game in Bury?
I can't remember the score, but it was
Harriet, I can't hear you.
We won quite well, I think.
So and did they have a similar team there on that day?
Yeah.
Cool. And Willow, just what position do you play, Maddie?
Wing attack.
Wing attack. So Willow, like Maddie, what did you feel would be the hardest bit about playing against Oldham? What part of their game?
They're quite a physical team, so yeah, I think that was probably the most.
When you say physical, give us an example of that in terms of when they go to catch the ball, you know that they're going to be very aggressive when they do it, or if it's a 50, or if you're defending and you're an attacking player, you know they're there basically. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played plenty of football matches like that. My coach always used to say to me, make sure you know. My dad, make sure you know they're there. Make sure they know you're there. Yeah. What position do you play, Willow?
Wing defence and centre.
Wing defence, centre. Cool. And Harriet, you were tasked with shooting and making sure your team scored the goals. Were you nervous going into that game? If it's not,
Oh, is she frozen? I think she might have. It's a glitch. We've got Mariam also trying to get in, but their device isn't connected. So I think Harriet might have to come back.
Yes, if you can message Harriet, say, come in, no, go out and come back in again. That would be quite cool. So you got the win. Now you sit top of the league along with Kingsway Power. How confident are you girls that you can potentially win this league now, or is that a bit too much to ask for you?
I think we're quite confident.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, go on, Maddie.
No, it's fine. I think we just have to go in like not thinking they're Kingsway Power, and we just need to play our own game.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Give us an insight into what type of game do you expect against Kingsway Power? What do they do so well as a team?
I think they've
Go on, Willow.
like set movements, and they're quite like drilled into knowing what they're doing.
Well, you had I think when you do play them, there's one thing that you are going to do, and I think your coach is what she did on Saturday was amazing. Tactically, you're going to be very aware, aren't you? Like you're going to know how Kingsway Power throw the ball, how they move off the ball, because your coach studies these teams, doesn't she? So, and there was one.
Ooh.
So, Martin, if you can bring up the game between Leeds and Oldham, and in particular, we want to see the Oldham centre passes. Because we spoke to your defenders, and they talked about a specific drill they were doing to stop Oldham being successful in the centre pass. Were you aware of this tactic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can get it up, you two can be the netball experts, and you can explain it. How's that sound? Can you manage that for us?
Yeah.
Me and Martin, me and Martin talk about netball. That's for sure. There you go, like group. So yeah, when Oldham gets centre pass, if we can pause it, we can try and work out what was happening.
I'm just going to get a bit of sound on that as well. There we go. That's a bit too loud.
How do you stop this ball getting down the court, girls? What is the main aim here?
I think stay man to man and try communicate with other players. So if you know kind of losing them, just let your other players know so maybe they can try cover.
Well, there's one thing you do well as a team. You communicate really well. I don't think netballers talk enough when they play. But you girls, your communication is amazing. So well done on that, because I did notice that. I think the more you communicate on the court, the more successful you're going to be. It's like simple things, just demanding the ball. Like sometimes you watch a game and the player's standing there with the ball, but because no one's asking for it, and they're just kind of doing that silent telepathic type of call for it.
That's the sort of player I am.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah,
give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Are we ever going to see an Oldham centre pass? Like they're not wanting to score now, are they?
I remember this. It took ages for a first goal, didn't it?
It did. Yes,
it did. This is what was quite mad about this game.
I think it's coming in a minute. You're right. It did. It took a good couple of minutes.
Because at this, goes at this point, I'm thinking like, oh, hang on, let's bring Harriet in. I think she's back. Oh yeah, Harriet. Hello, you there?
Hi.
Yeah, cool. Right, we're in. Sorry, Harriet, for keeping out there. Yeah,
Harriet, we're trying to work out. Here we go. Stop it there. Stop it.
Oh, give me a sec. There you go. Do you want me to rewind it back a little bit?
No, yeah, a little bit, yeah, tiny bit.
No, that's hard to do on this thing.
Now, I think probably we've got this at the wrong point in the game because
Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
at the centre pass.
Yeah, no, but as in, do you want it like later on in the game?
Yeah, bring it more later in the game because I think it's something you worked out, wasn't it, girls?
Yeah.
As the game went on. So if we get it a bit later, if you go to like the third quarter or something.
Oh, you want to go? You want to go? Oh, it's the second quarter.
I would say go to the third because that's when they start to dominate a lot more. So yeah. So when it's 11-8, girls, did you were you worried that Oldham could still get back into the game?
I think we were still pretty confident.
I think.
Sorry, go on.
I think we were still confident, but with teams like Oldham, they can always come back.
Yeah, I used to hate teams like that when I played football. you could be 5-0 up and they can still get back in the game. It's horrible. So we're just gonna wait for this centre pass to come. But look how these girls move the ball and stuff. It's quite impressive.
I tell you what, they kept on hitting the camera with the ball, by the way. Yes. Willow's laughing because she's like, I can kind of remember that. I'm like, there was a few parents with me. And I'm like, oh no, not the camera again.
This is actually a really good move. Harriet, I hope you finish this off if this comes to you. That was nearly a fantastic. Well, hopefully we get a centre pass on it. So let's just talk about the centre pass. So what was said was that when Oldham pulled out to receive the ball, your players would hold their ground. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I think in the D, instead of following the player out.
Stop it there, Martin.
I was on it. Mate. I was just there.
Here we go. So, girls, we've finally got to so this is where I think the game, you were very successful on their centre pass. You restricted them and you gave them as little option as possible when they're on their centre pass. And that's a big thing in netball, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you all thinking here? So where are you? So Harriet's up there. Who's this and who's this on the D on the circle?
Grace.
You, Maddie?
That's Grace.
No, that's Grace there.
Where are you, Maddie?
I'm like on the other side because I'm playing wing attack. I'm not.
Back cool. Right. And Willow, are you a bit further back as well?
No, I'm just there at the line.
So which one are you, left or right?
The one on
the other one.
That one.
Okay, so what is the thought pattern here, Willow?
I think so the other attacker would come out and then they did the same thing kind of every time after we kind of figured it out.
Okay, Willow, so let's see if you remember. So what do you think your player is going to do now, Willow, without watching it? If you pretend you're back in there again, tell us what movement you think she's going to make.
She would probably just stay on the line and then drive backwards when the other attacker has received it over the line.
So who do you believe is most likely to get the ball out of these two girls here?
The goal attack.
So you believe the girl you're marking is not going to pull out; she's just going to hold her ground.
Yeah.
Maddie, what do you think's going to happen? You don't particularly care, do you, Maddie?
No, I do.
Mate, they're kind of scared. Yeah. They kind of think, I don't want to answer this. I don't want to answer. I should remember the game. That's what it is. I should remember the game. I can't remember the game. It's too much.
I think just the same as Willow, because I think their thought process is a bit like the goal attack's gonna most likely gonna get the ball because she's quite a strong player. So then the wing attack will drive down to get depth into the pocket.
And Harriet, what is your role in? Go back to that again, Martin. So Harriet, what is? I know you're hoping that they intercept the ball, but what is your role as a defender in this kind of situation? Oh no, we lost Harriet.
She's gone again. Lost her again, mate.
Okay, cool. Right, let's run this. So Willow's saying her player will hold her line and move backwards. Is that what you're saying, Willow?
I think she would, move backwards into the pocket, I think.
So when the player comes out, then that girl who you're marking is going to run into the pocket, and the girl receiving the ball will play it to her. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. They did that many times. So.
Okay, but the thing is, great. Even if she doesn't, Willow, we all know that you did work it out. It's just maybe you might be wrong here, but let's have a little look, Martin, see what happens.
All right.
Willow was there. She was right. Willow, you were right. Good. Yeah, she went to go, and your play went to drop back. So that was happening. But do you believe it defensively? Is that where you won the game, or was it, or did you feel you attacked better than them? Because from my perspective, I thought defensively as a team, the way you restricted them and the options they had was why you won it. Do you see it that way, or do you see it as no, we were a better attacking team? Go on. No, there's no wrong answer.
There isn't.
I think we were quite a strict defence. So.
Willow, you would say that because you're wing defence, aren't you? And Maddie, would you possibly say no? It's because we attack so well, seeing as you are the attacker, or did you feel your team were defending very well?
I think our attack did do well, but I think our team in general did defend incredibly well that game, and we were kind of restricting them a lot.
You were. It was brilliant. Harriet, are you back?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so Harriet, in regards to your shooting stats, were you quite successful on Saturday?
I think I was better with my shooting in the Oldham game than the Northwich game, because I thought I was more concentrated and I was getting into the game more.
There must be a lot of pressure on you because, you know, shooting is a good thing because you get all the glory. But if you miss a few, I can imagine Maddie and Willow would start getting a bit annoyed. So how much pressure do you put on yourself to score? Or do you kind of stay relaxed in the game?
Well, when I score, I feel very, very happy that I've scored. But when I miss my shot, I think that I need to be able to get the ball back for my team because I'm the one that's the goal.
If you don't mind me asking, Harriet, what percentage shots did you get in? Do your coaches keep a track of that at all? Is Harriet gone again?
Has she gone? Let's have a look. Yep, she has.
Oh, damn it. So, you know what's going to come now, girls. At the end of the season, you're going to be playing Kingsway Power in the last game of the season to potentially win the league title. So now we didn't expect this. We expected the Kingsway Power Oldham type of scenario. You've completely changed our script. So we've got to rewrite a new one. So thanks for that. And
oh, come on, that's all right. That's good. That's good.
But in percentage wise, how confident are you when we get to April and you play Kingsway Power, if you've still got the same amount of points, which I think you probably will do? How confident are you that you can beat them in percentage wise? Because that's a lot of training, isn't it? That's a lot of preparation time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we'll have had a lot of time to kind of sort out all of the errors and mistakes we're making and kind of get our ground back together. But it also depends because Kingsway will have had all that time as well. So I guess it really just depends on what game we decide to play, if you know what I mean.
You know, I do know what you mean. It's basically going to be a test of nerve for all of you. You better play your best game you've ever played in your life that day because we know it's going to be busy in there. A lot of people will be coming to watch. and it'd be a great opportunity for you to not only be one of the best, well, the best team in the country because they won our national finals last season. What a great opportunity to win it in front of a lot of people and the live cameras. So you can't get better than that, can you? Harriet, we're just talking about how confident would you be to beat Kings of Power percentage-wise? 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 99%?
100.
What do you think, Harriet?
Around that. I think it's going to be quite a high percent. Yeah, around there.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! It begins.
It begins. I think, do you know what, though? I think Kings of Power are so used to us trying to build games for them. They're probably so used to it now, it just doesn't faze them, does it?
It doesn't.
No. They love it.
Like I say, I walk past, I make some funny little remarks, like Empire and stuff. They're just a great team. They are. But I can also see other teams being able to beat them. Question is will they do the homework? Will they put the work in? And Leeds seems to be like they can.
Yeah, I do believe that. But yeah, girls.
And when I hear this 90% sort of stuff, that's what I like to hear. Because it's like, yes, we can do it and we will do it. Who are they? Take them on and take them out.
It's now time to do the ENG quiz. Have you all got a pen and paper?
Yeah.
Don't be nervous. Have you stolen that horse from the field yet, Martin?
I'm working on it.
We're trying to get we're trying to get a horse for the winner.
I just like to do a disclaimer. If a 3-legged horse does go missing from a field, it's not me. Honest.
I think Harriet's gone again. Damn it.
I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be funny? I get ding dong. Open it up, please. Have you got 3-legged horses, mate? What? We were watching the review show. Looking forward to the Kingsway Power Leeds game.
Should we give Harriet a chance to come in?
Yeah. She'll be back in a second. I'll tell you what, if I can boot her off.
And she can boot her back.
Yeah, and that gives it that's it quicker for her to get back on. There we go.
So, girls, I'm going to ask you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions worth 12 points. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'm going to ask you 6 questions worth 12 points. All the answers were in that league table and that information we had. Can you hear us, Harriet?
I think she can. Harriet, are you going from room to room? Because it seems to be different rooms.
Or it might be green screen.
Exactly. If she's in the Bahamas next, then we know.
So, girls, if Harriet, if you can actually do this in the background if you want, Harriet. If you can't hear us or see us, or because we definitely can't hear you, or your picture's gone.
It's her internet, mate. It's her internet.
So, girls,
That's
here we go.
Room.
First question: how many goals were scored in round 2 of the ENG Under-12s Northern Conference? And I'm going to give you a multiple choice. So, how many goals were scored? Was it 416, 417, or 418?
Big difference.
So just take a guess if you don't know. Was it 4? So how many goals were scored? 416, 417, or 418?
Okay.
There we go. Do what you're doing. You saw a little guess. I used to guess my way through school all the time. It didn't pay off, but never mind. Harriet, did you get that question?
No.
Have you got a pen and paper on you?
Yeah.
So the question was, how many goals were scored in round 2 of the ENG Under-12s Northern Conference out on Saturday? Was it 416, 417, or 418? If you don't know, Just guess.
Multiple choice. 33% chance.
Got a 1 in 3 chance. Not bad odds, are they? Okay. Second question. How many goals have been scored altogether in the league so far?
Good question.
Is it
Look at the eyes.
825, 826, or 827?
And for all you people watching at home, why don't you write down and see if you get the answers all right as well, and let us know afterwards.
Don't forget, the winner of this goes to a national quiz championship at the end
Grand
of April.
final. Are you going to do like a university challenge? Like a brand?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Willow from Leeds. Your mascot.
Okay, next question. Who has conceded the most goals in the league? What team? Is it Chester? Is it Wyre? Or is it Kingsway Power under 11s?
That's a good one.
So who's conceded the most goals in the league? Wyre, Chester, or Kingsway Power under 11s? You done? Who's messaging me? Hold on. I normally get messages during this saying, "Oi, your question's wrong."
It's when his answers are wrong, we get worried. That's the thing.
And that's my staff asking me what days they're working. Okay. Next question. Who are the current top 4 teams in the league? You get a point for every team you write down. They don't have to be in order.
Can you hear the scrimmage? Are we boring you there, Richard?
No, I just got 6 kids to get up at 5 in the morning. So 4 teams. Who are the top 4? No particular order. You get a point per team.
Dun, dun, dun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Maddie, you can always go back to it. Keep thinking while we do the next questions.
I was always told at a test never to go back. Never go back to your question. Willow's laughing like, yes, I've been told that too.
I was never told that.
Mate, because you never took any.
Okay. Which teams have lost 2 and won 2 games in the league? There's 3 teams who have won 2 and lost 2 games. Can you name them?
Ooh.
That's a good question, isn't it, mine?
It is, mate. You've been on it. Did you Weetabix this morning or something?
Bacon sandwich, mate.
Bacon sandwich? Have you been to Booker as well?
No, that's Friday job.
Okay.
So which teams have won 2 and lost 2? There's 3 teams. 3 teams. Okay, the last question. You happy? Once we do the last question, there's no going back. So, Maddie, if you think of that 4th team,
do it now.
Stick it in. Right.
Should I delay him quickly for you, Maddie, so that you can quickly write that last one in? Who that other team is?
Last question. Who has conceded the fewest goals in the league, and how many have they conceded? That's worth 2 points.
I'm supposed to know that.
So basically, who has the best defense and how many have they conceded? Now, I'll give you a multiple choice on how many have they conceded, but I can't give you a multiple choice on the team that has been who has the best defense, because I did say that in the run up. But in terms of goals conceded, was it 40, 41, or 42? Harriet's twigged on now. She's got a big smile on her face, like, yeah, I get it now.
I don't know if it's Oswald Kingsway.
So who has the best defence, basically, and how many goals have they let in? Was it 40, 41, or 42?
By the way, Jonathan Hodman said we're playing Oldham at the weekend. That's what he said.
You're playing Oldham again at the weekend, girls.
Yeah.
That's my dad.
Oh, if it's your dad, look, I'll put it up on the screen as well. I put it up earlier, but I'll put it up again. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my dad. Never be embarrassed for your dad. Tell you, dads are cool, aren't they?
You
Richard?
might get a hat trick worth of wins. Is that in the Berry League again, girls?
Think
What,
so.
the first week? Yeah.
No,
No, it was
no.
a friendly first week. Next
Oh,
week.
okay, fair enough. Okay, well, good luck on the old weekend, but let's get this quiz done. So, what we're going to do? You're just going to put your paper up to the screen, and let us know what you've said. So, we'll do it every question. Just throw it up so I know you're not writing nothing. So, how many goals were scored in this weekend's round of fixtures? Put your sheets up, girls, and give me your answer. So,
Ooh, there we go.
417, 418. Oh, my brother's trying to go away, brother.
Mute your phone. Mute your phone. We're in business conference here.
So, girls, I can officially say you're all wrong. It was 416. I always say, if you're going to crash in a plane, at least you're with a load of people.
No,
You lot crashed and burnt there all together. Well done. No one got out alive. Okay. How many goals have been scored altogether so far this season? I can officially say one person got it right, and it was Harriet.
Hey, well done.
Hey. 1 point. You two crashing and burning. I think you're gonna get this one. I think you might get this one right. Who has conceded the most goals in the league this season? What team? So stick your sheets up. Are you okay there, Maddie?
She's got that thought like,
No, I've just looked at my answer and I don't think it's right.
Right, stick your sheets up, girls. Stick your sheets up.
Wait, I didn't put one.
You didn't put one?
Harriet, did you not put an answer?
No, Willow. I think Willow.
Go on, put your sheet up. Put your sheets up to the camera.
I don't know.
Go on, let's have a look at you, Harriet. No. And Willow, what have you got? Nothing.
I didn't put one.
Was it right?
No, you're all wrong. Willow's definitely wrong. You need to go and check out these league tables more often, girls. Because how are you meant to win the ENG quiz if you haven't got the knowledge? Like, everyone in the whole country is going to be like laughing at you because of this.
Was it goals against? Did you say?
Yeah. Who has conceded the most goals?
Under 12s.
Yeah.
It's Chester.
What?
138.
No way.
Yeah, right. Well, the dungeon master got it wrong. Hang on.
Oh no.
Look. 138.
Oh, right. Well, I did that on purpose just to test mine.
I'm looking at it going, hang on. Am I reading this wrong? Have I got the wrong league? What's going on?
Well, what we'll do then, because I'm an idiot, you can all have a point for that.
Ah.
There we go.
Actually, wasn't it one of your questions? Wasn't it one of your answers?
Anyway,
I'm not going to take away a point away.
I'm lost. Right. Who are the current top 4 teams? This is worth 4 points.
Oh, God. I don't think I've got this right.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, and these are okay. Okay, I can officially say that Willow and Harriet maximum points. Well done.
Ooh, well done.
Nice as well.
And hold on, 1, 2, 3, and Maddie, you got 3. You got 3 right. That's good. Better than 1 right, isn't it?
Exactly. 3's better than 2 and 1, isn't it?
So going into kind of the last couple of questions, the scores on the doors. Maddie has 4, Willow has 5, and Harriet has 6.
Ooh, so it's so close.
All right, next question. Which teams have lost 2 and won 2 games this season? Is it okay?
Willow?
Does it,
Did you not write anything down?
hold on. So Bury, Ellesmere Port. Okay. Bury, KWP under 11s.
While you're working that out, I'm just going to say, Maddie, do you want to know what your dad said?
No.
I do.
So,
Oh my.
Harriet, let me have a look at yours quickly again. So Harriet is 1. Okay, just have a look at yours, Maddie, again.
Wait.
Cool. And Willow, you didn't put nothing down. Never mind. Okay, we're going into the last question. And unbelievably, Maddie has got a chance here.
Wait.
You got 2 right, and Harriet got 1 right, that last one. So Maddie's on 6, Harriet's on 7, and Willow is on 5. So Willow, you need these 2. You need to get 2 points, and these 2 need to both get nothing for you to have a chance. So who has conceded the fewest goals? So who has the best defense? And how many have they conceded? Let's have a look. Go, go, go. Willow, you got 2 right. Well done. Harriet, you got...
I got 1.
Yeah, no, sorry. Maddie, you got 1 right. But the winner with 2 right and the quiz champion is Harriet. Give her a clap, please.
Well done, Harriet.
The final scores, Willow and Maddie, you had 7. Harriet, you had 9. Harriet, if you stay in the top 5 of our quiz table, which is online, you go to our national finals. How do you feel?
Very good.
Is it a very proud moment in your life?
Yeah.
Yes, I could imagine it's a proud moment for your family and your friends. And don't boast too much tomorrow at school, okay? But all I can say is thank you for your time. And we look forward to seeing you again in December. Well, December the 17th to see if you can win game 5 and game 6. So, girls, we'll see you in December the 17th.
Do you not want to frame any questions that you're posing for talk points tonight before I kick them off? How about the umpire one?
Oh yeah, no, we'll move on. Sorry,
right,
girls.
okay.
It's nearly 9 o'clock. I want you to get to bed.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I didn't see it was that time. Okay, thank you for coming on. Much appreciated. Really good laugh, Maddie. Have a go at your dad, I suppose, in a minute, won't you?
Yeah.
See you all. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
That was cool, mate.
That was good. Yeah,
I
so there
love
you go.
Jonathan coming on there. Go, I'm so embarrassed.
That was the quiz. So well done to Harriet, who won the quiz. But that was the Leeds under 12s girls who have got a good chance at winning the league this season. They've given themselves the best chance possible, and they will definitely play Kingsway Power on the last game of the season.
Let us know in the comments, people, what you think of that as well. Do you think they can Kingsway Power supporters, do you think that you've got it in the bag, or are the other teams going, no, we're going to come back, we're going to fight this through, we're going to come back and prove who we are? Because anything can happen in that league, mate. I can tell you that.
Well, before we move on to some talking points, let's have a look at what happened in our under 13s fixture from October the 22nd. Northern Conference.
I'm on it.
And the question we got to ask ourselves is, we've got this Leeds, Oldham, and Kingsway Power three-way kind of battle for the league, we believe anyway. And which one was more impressive? So we'll delve into that very quickly. So the scores were 22-48 to Wyre. Wyre did I think they were my team in a round actually in this one. First game 48-22 to Wyre. Then newcomers Tameside took on Oldham, the national champions Oldham, 57-5 Oldham won. So they showed why they're the national champions. Then Grangetown won 32-21 against Ellesmere Port. Wyre then played Tameside 46-5. So a good start to the season for Wyre. And then Grangetown played Oldham in the final game of the initial 5 games and lost 44-22. Then Kingsway Power, they played Macclesfield 77-1.
Yes.
Unbelievable scoreline. Then Chester played Leeds 64-15 to Leeds.
But that was they were all counting the goals because they knew that they had to kind of match Kingsway Power. Because they had a problem with the machine, the score one, because it was losing connection with the blah blah blah. And the parents were like, "It's this." I'm like, "No." I was like, "Is it?" but yeah, they were keeping count, Leeds, by the way. So I remember it was quite funny.
So 64-15. So the great performance. Bury then played Macclesfield 70-12. Then Kingsway Power played Chester. As per usual, I got the scores the wrong way around there.
Looking at that going, huh?
53-17 to Kingsway Power, that one was. And the final game of the day was the best game of the day. Leeds took on Bury. Very close up until half-time. But then Leeds showed why they're tipped to potentially win this league this season with a 45-21 win. But watch this space. That Bury team will get better and better as the season goes on.
I was talking to the parents, right? And they were both sets. And they were saying about they're looking forward to the Leeds v Bury game. They were like, literally, it was some kind of derby. They were just like, yeah, we're saving our energy for that. So, yeah, it was interesting.
No, it's a really good game. And Bury, even though they lost, they showed what they're capable of, to be honest. And I think as the season progresses, they're only going to get better and will be a tough team for anyone to play, to be honest. So well done to Bury. But yeah, the table is a Kingsway Power again, top of the table. I don't think they have never not been top of the table in this league. Oldham and Leeds, the 3 teams we believed would fight it out for the championship, are occupying 1, 2, and 3 already this season. That was the final positions of the same teams last season in the league. Well, the top 4 are the same positions as it was how it ended last season.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
So Wyre further down.
No, Wyre were 4th last season. So yeah, let's see if Bury or Grangetown in particular, let's see if they can push one of those teams out of the top 4. So yeah, there we go. But when we talk about who was most impressive, for me, I think it's got hold on.
Delicious.
For me, I think it was Oldham. For me, they, I think, in terms of the quality they have throughout the court, they, for me, are the team to beat in this league. Kingsway Power, they're slick, they're skillful. For me, potentially lack that physical presence Oldham and Leeds have. And the reason I'm not saying Leeds is because I feel Oldham have the ring IQ to get the win when they play. So Kingsway Power for me lack maybe that aggression, that physicality to their game. Leeds have the speed, they have the physical nature, but they haven't got a proven track record in winning when it truly matters. And Oldham have the speed, they have the power, they have the ring IQ, they have the experience, and that's why I made them my favourites to win this league.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, that is that's what I'm going for, and it'd be interesting to see what people think of that. But I think experience is key. Oldham have that experience, and don't forget Kingsway Power do as well. They won the league, but I just think physically, Oldham and Leeds have a bit more than Kingsway Power, and they also have the speed and the skill. But if you was to put money on it, you would base it on kind of who has proven that they can win at a national level, and it's Oldham, and I think Oldham will win that league this season. So that's my top tip. I would say an Oldham, Leeds, Kingsway Power. That's what I'm going.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I'm going to throw this out there. I know it's early doors. I think Bury might creep into 4th place.
Do you know what? I was going to, yeah. But again, Wire. I'm going to be great battle, mate. All of it.
Wire would be desperate to get back in because they'd be still frustrated they didn't win their quarter-final game in the Nationals. So yeah, they will be desperate to get back in and prove that they can win that initial quarter-final game. But if we look at the fixtures, let's see if any of them stand out at all. So let's have a look. Wire have Chester. Wire versus Leeds. Very good game. Very tough game there. Bury will play Grangetown. So a good game there for both those teams. Kingsway Power. No. Yeah, so not.
Can we just interrupt you there for a sec? Tameside. I want to bring up Tameside, if you don't mind. I know that they didn't do too well. Do you think that, let us know in the comments as well, people. Do you think they're literally just warming up, getting used to this league because they're new into it, and that they're actually can't come out fully firing in the next rounds?
I think the league will improve them. I think
it will. It
will give them a reality that will only push them forward. It won't push them back. And you know what? They got beat heavily, but I didn't think they did too badly, to be fair. They what I loved about their performance was they kept their heads up and
they carried on going, didn't they?
Never looked like they were upset or frustrated or annoyed, and they just kept going and going. So fair play to them. Well done.
I've seen that a lot actually in the early rounds. People get, teams getting, badly beaten, but still continuing as if it was like, 30-all. It's I love it. I love seeing that. Just keep going.
Yeah. So that kind of wraps up that. But before we go into a little discussion, just a 15-minute discussion, let's have a look at what we got this Saturday and Sunday in the Southern League. So under 12 Southern will be Saturday. Let's have a little look at
under 12 Southern. Okay.
What the fixtures are.
I didn't bring them up. I only brought up the under 15s. Right, under 12 Southern. There we go.
So Saturday, we're back to round 3 of the Southern Conference. So Eagles will take on All Stars. Poole will play Shan. Western Park Blades versus All Stars. Eagles versus Poole, and Shan versus Western Park Blades. Then in the afternoon, we have Sutton Town versus Teignbridge. Ryland versus Stars. Turnford versus Teignbridge. Sutton Town versus Stars.
Ooh.
And Turnford versus Ryland. So the afternoon looks very competitive. The standout game for me will be Sutton Town versus Stars at 5 o'clock.
That's why I went, ooh.
Then you got, Sutton Town have 2 tough games, to be fair. They have they have 3rd and they have 2nd. And so the afternoon looks very competitive. Shan are back. All Stars are back. They did have a little rest, but they are back for this round.
To say, I thought Shan was higher, and then actually I've just seen mounts played and stuff. Right, yeah. So that's interesting. Ooh.
So
Right.
yeah, so good week there. And if we go into the under 15s, that they've got a round of fixtures as well. Only half the teams out.
You're very quick with this. I've just got to mention AP Saints. Do you reckon they're going to bring it? Really good team, usually it's.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I might just open up a can of worms. They've been a bit. I know they've had some good tuition going on and stuff. I know they're not playing, are they? Tomorrow? No, they're not. But
yeah, it's. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen. Do you know what? I haven't seen enough of them to really.
Well, yeah, true.
I wasn't there last time, and the first time they didn't turn up, so I don't really know.
It's a good point, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, they didn't, did they? So yeah, but okay, all right.
But if we look at Sunday, the under 15s, we've got half the teams playing. So we've got Turnford versus Team Beds, Weston Park versus Sutton Town, Magic versus Turnford, Team Beds versus Sutton Town, and Weston Park Blades versus Magic. So quite Stevenly type of games we've got here. We've got a part. I would, the teams who are playing Turnford, they're going to have a tough time. Team Beds and Magic, they're going to have to play an exceptional game of netball to get anything out of that game. It's that tough. It's that tough. So hopefully they've done their homework and they've basically putting a plan together to help just try and stop this Turnford team. But if you look at the other fixtures, Weston Park Blades versus Sutton Town, you've got Team Beds versus Sutton Town, Weston Park versus Magic, very evenly matched ties and very interesting. Sutton Town have no points, Magic have no points, Team Beds have no points, Weston Park Blades have 2. So let's see if any of them, if Sutton Town can get 2 out of 2, or if Weston Park Blades can get 2 out of 2. We'll push them right up the league. So yeah, should be a good competitive afternoon.
It's happening. They're there.
Before we go, Martin.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Let's look at this little debate we're going to have. So if you can throw up the interview of the Kingsway Power young lady.
Oh yeah, good point. All right, so let's get rid of this.
So what I want to quickly talk about is, do umpires allow defenders to defend?
So
would you like to see umpires just be a bit less lenient when it comes to kind of contact, when it comes to a defender and an attacker? Is it more to do with how many goals are scored to make the game more entertaining? Because I think the opposite would be true. I think less goals would make it more entertaining in netball.
A bit like football.
A bit more like football, yeah, I agree. Less is more.
I don't know, really. That's a very good question. Because if the goals are all going in and they're going in fast, I mean, like we've had some brilliant games, already. And the more goals that go in, it can go either way. It puts a lot of pressure on the goals that going in, where in football, a lot of the gameplay is, moving through the big field. But in netball, it's quick. So I think it adds to it. So if you're slowing it down, so there's less goals, I don't know. I do like the idea, by the way, about the double pointer for outside the whatever. So
yeah.
Right. What do you want? Do you want me to click on umpire?
Yeah.
See, yeah?
Yeah.
How far? That's not good, is it? We can't talk about it. How far do I go?
If you go into like a minute and a half.
Oh, I'll take it into a minute and a half and then no, not to do it on here next time. Right, okay, it's on the software.
I'm with Orla and Evie from Kingsway Power Under 11s after round 2 of the ENG Youth Netball Premier League Under 12s Northern Conference. First game today
was against, remind me?
Oldham.
It was against Oldham. Of course it was against Oldham. So, as you know, it was always going to be a tough game. So, what was the aim coming into that game? Did you generally feel you could win that game, or was it to score a certain amount of points, to get a certain amount of turnovers, or was it just to learn? Give me your perception or what your aim was in that game.
It was just for our team to try do their best. And
In what particular way? Just across the court?
Across all the court.
Yeah.
Just everybody try to do their full game and try and turn some balls over.
You're a mid-court player, right?
Yeah.
So, in your head, what is it you want to particularly achieve within that game to make sure you've had a successful time?
Feeding into the shooting circle and making sure that the shooters get the shots in and helping them get the passes.
And what kind of see, I don't really ask it. You're the first person this sort of question I ask. But what is it you have to do to kind of come across that you've got the better of your opposite number? So who would be defending you? What player?
Another centre.
Another centre. So two centres. So what would you? So is it just whoever feeds the most plays into the shooter or into the wing attack, or is it cutting the ball out to each other? How does that work?
Cutting the ball out.
So would you use that as a way of identifying that you've got the better of your centre?
Yeah.
Cool. I never knew that before. We found it out. Remind me, what position do you play?
Goal defence.
So goal defence. What was it like defending against Oldham?
So they're a bit tough because like most umpires don't really see like contact.
Yeah.
So you just have to let it go and when it's their ball, just keep trying, but when it's our ball, just keep cheering on the team.
Well,
to like encourage them.
I was talking to someone outside about. I used to be a defender for football, so I get how I understand how much work goes into defending. I also understand there's not a lot of glory in defending as well. It's always these shooters and wing attacks, isn't it? Yeah. But I was talking to someone outside in regards to, do you feel attackers sometimes get too much? The umpire gives away too much to the attacker. They don't allow the defender to defend as much. Do you find that when you play?
Yeah. But otherwise they won't score much goals if I get the ball lots of times and they score lots of goals.
So would you like to see defenders kind of be allowed to defend more aggressively without being penalised? Yeah. So would I. I would love to see that as well. I bet Lauren would love to see that as well, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But you played well. Yeah. Are you happy with that?
That's great. Yes. Sorry, mate. We're never doing this again.
That's right.
Fiston could do it probably, but he didn't. That's quite funny. But Lauren, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit of a bear bug of mine, and it's not nothing. It's no reflection on my umpires or any umpires. It's just the way things are done. I just sometimes feel that just defenders can't defend. Like you've got some 6'5" shooter or something sometimes, and give them a chance.
Jumping, aren't they? Just trying to.
They give them a chance. Like, it just seems like they don't have to do a lot to get penalised.
Yeah,
and it's just, for me, it's like it's a bit like the long shots, the long bomb shots. You're stopping a certain skill being expressed more often, and plus, for me, if defenders can be a bit more, can defend more, and not be so kind of penalised all the time, it will make for better games as well.
Yeah, again, agreed. Usually I can stay on the fence, but I'm a bit like, no, because I see them constantly jumping up, trying to stop, and then they, we had this discussion a few months ago in regards to what do they do, because obviously if they don't put the pressure on, they take the shots, but if they're far out, and then there's more chance that they'll miss. But they're taught to obviously stop and defend, and it's a bit, and then the whistle blows and it's like they stand to the side, and it's a bit of an interesting. I'm with you on it, 100%.
Yeah. So anyone out there would do this, and I'll probably snapshot this later. But would you like to see umpires be less lenient on defenders, which will help?
Less lenient or more lenient?
Oh, yeah, sorry, more lenient on defenders, which will help them be more successful when stopping shooters scoring. And I would like to see it more. And I can't change the rules, but yeah, I just think there needs to be a rethink on how netball's played in small little ways, because we're still at a point where regionals, local leagues, national competitions still don't do roll on subs. It's just it's insanity.
I haven't met a team, player, parent, fan, or coach or anything that dislikes rolling subs. They all love it.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been 4 years since we started the roll on subs, and I think some people use it in their competitions now. During like summer.
I've heard that. Yeah, mate, you want to paint it? You should have painted that. You'd have made a fortune, mate.
Yeah, but some like regional leagues and county leagues and stuff still are stubborn, and they're still just stopping kids. And this is the problem. We've gone off track now, but
as always,
you claim to be inclusive. You claim to want to be able to give girls the maximum game time, but you don't put in the systems that will allow these girls to get maximum game time.
Agreed.
So you're holding your own sport back. It doesn't make any sense at all. So please just put away the E and the go.
You love that expression. You've been using that this weekend.
Let go of the ego. And the E must go, unfortunately. Get rid of it, bring in the rolling subs, and stop messing around. That's what I'm saying.
You sure?
But that wasn't even the topic. The topic is umpires. Why are you so anti-defence? Come on.
I'll tell you what we need to do with this, actually, is carry it on for next week, and we'll bring up the points, the actual rule that says what they can and can't do and get away with. Because there's a 3-second rule, isn't there? Yeah. And that's open to debate, that 3 seconds. It's not like as soon as they get the ball, it's like, well, what they think. Which I am not having to go at any umpires for one thing. But it is kind of, when do you start? Do you start, you know what I mean? It's like, how is your 1, 2, 3? Because, it's as soon as they catch it, it's like, you know what I mean? That was more than 3 seconds. But I know it was. I can see it on the counter. But again, it's how things, when you're bored and time goes slow. Do you know what I mean? And then when it's action packed, you're like, it's like really weird. But again, I know how you could do it, where it's totally like as soon as the ball's caught, 3-second timer starts. But that's a bit of technology you need. You know what I mean? But it's like 3 seconds. Yeah. We could start some big debates here. Kick it off. But bring it, but just have a look at the rules. Let's see what they stipulate. I mean, I really do need to read the rules. Or I actually need to go and visit some teams and they can teach me. Maybe it's something we can do as a tour, mate. We can go around, visit these teams in their training sessions. They can teach us something special about the game, about the rules.
Yeah.
And like, take, for instance, talking about the defense. Yeah. If I'm a defender playing against you, no funny comments, Mr. Tweed. You're obviously taller than I. So, I'm going to be, I ain't going to be able to stop you, am I?
No. Oh, well, no, probably not. But
this white man can't jump. Simple.
Or maybe, I don't know. Again, if the defender's allowed to intercept the ball on its way to the attacker, it seems like sometimes the defender intercepts the ball and they're deemed to have been coming through the player to get to the ball.
Right.
And it's just I don't know. It's just like, if it's a 50-50 decision, the attacker always gets it.
Yeah. That's how I see it. It's a bit like, what can you do to stop that? I mean, it does seem that way. Because I'm like, you're better off just standing in front of them. Like in basketball, you can do that, can't you?
Yeah.
And love what you did with the quotes on your bomb challenge thing. They don't need backboards, by the way.
I know. I was hoping a few little basketballers would see that and they go a bit angry, but they didn't.
They know what you like, Richard. That's what it is. Oh, I'm not biting. As they slam the doors. What's the matter with you? Is that Richard guy? He's winding me up. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But I tell you what I did notice this weekend, and I've noticed it over a few actually, is again, it's not something I don't think the umpires pick up on, or many other people, but with me wearing my headphones and constantly watching the ball like a dog, I also notice, especially in certain for certain cameras, when they land, defenders, there's a lot more sound and pressure put on the floor, which creates vibrations.
Right.
Moves stuff a bit. It moves the netball, and also puts off the player. There you go. Put that on your discussion.
Our players jumping up and landing heavily because they're putting it, mate. The conspiracy continues, mate.
I love it. I bet you again. No, it's not. No, I don't. We don't do that. What team? Yeah, I was like, well, I'm not saying what teams, but I have picked up on that. A bit like coming, after you break, after your quarter, and they come on. Some teams are holding back, waiting for the other teams to come on and start. It's just these little things I pick up.
They wait to see who's coming out to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, it's been a great evening. Thank you if you've been watching, and look forward to another great weekend ahead.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a good one, mate. As always.
But Martin, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week for our review show. But I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Don't forget, put in the comments. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also what's the other one?
Facebook.
Well done. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye bye.